1954, when sales sank to the lowest level since 1995. The median national home price for all of last year rose 1.7%. Sales have been stuck around a 4 million annual pace now going back to 2023. That's well short of the 5.2 million annual pace that's historically been the norm. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
As wholesale prices rose modestly in November, the Labor Department reports its producer price index, measuring inflation before it reaches consumers, rose by 0.2% in November. That report was delayed by last year's government shutdown. Breaking news at townhall.com. Not a bad deal for sports fans. 1 million tickets to the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics will cost just under $30 each.
Los Angeles may be one of the most expensive cities on earth, but organizers here say the Olympics will be affordable. From swimming to BMX to skateboarding, every Olympic event in LA will offer tickets starting at $28. And there won't just be a handful of those $28 tickets. Organizers say there will be 1 million sold at that price. Standing outside LA's historic Coliseum with dozens of Olympians, LA 28 chairman Casey Wasserman said the LA Games belong to everyone, and they need to be affordable and inclusive. He said roughly a third of the tickets sold would cost less than $100 when they officially go on sale in April.
The BBC's Regan Morris. The Mike Tomlin era with the Pittsburgh Steelers is over. The longest tenured head coach in major American professional sports stepped down on Tuesday. More of these stories at townhall.
All right, Point family. Gene Garris filling in for Fran, who fills in for Kevin on this Wednesday edition of the Afternoon Drive. We're doing open lines Wednesday. You get to drive this crazy thing. 803-799-8255.
Point A to Point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Search Broker Solar.
Collisions, Garner's Ferry at Abernathy and Two Notch Road at O'Neill. An accident also at Kill Diesel and Park Lane at Bower Parkway. Forest Drive at Beltline South. We have Blossom at QG and Wessinger at Dutch Fork. Collisions to report. Midstate Roofing, commercial, industrial, and institutional. You got a leak? Let Midstate Roofing take a peek. Service, advice, results for over 25 years. MidstateRoofing.com. Doug Thomas on the point.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
7.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy this evening, a low temperature dipping down to 34. Tomorrow we do get more sunshine, but we are very chilly. High is just 42. Tomorrow night, frigid, a low temperature dropping down to 19. For Friday, 49 the high. Nothing but a full sky of sunshine. For the weekend, Saturday, we get 57, a blend of the sunshine and clouds. Sunday's cooler. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
All right, again, I'm Gene Garris filling in for Kevin. And the switcher ain't switching. So we're going to pull this all the way down, all the way up, and then all the way down. That's right. It's electronics that are magic. So radio stations now are just amazing. Those things that you can do. Goodness, telephone number here is 803-799-8255. That's 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. And gosh, right now you could be first. And I know everybody wants to talk about Minneapolis, and man alive, I just hope that Governor Waltzy is able to survive in some capacity after he gets indicted, and all the horrible stuff with the fraud going on in Minneapolis is revealed. And they're already saying their investigators are that at least bureaucrats were probably involved in the Somali scam. Plus, and I guess it's the scam largely represented by Somali immigrants to the United States. Maybe that would be the best way to say it. And then plus, of course, we have the self-defense shoot of that woman who got all revved up and smacked a cop with her car and then got shot. So we've got a big problem with our political discourse, and some of it is just LARPing, live action role playing, where people watch videos, people get in news groups, people share in groups their activism and plans, and it's all about cat lady nurturing. Yeah, that's right. So these cat lady type people, they have written onto their DNA desire to nurture, a desire to care about something. And when they're without children, unlike the woman that got shot and killed, when they're without children, that desire to help, to represent, to protect folks, since there are no children involved, is still there. So if you watch the almost demonic screaming of every leftist, and that doesn't matter if it was the Women's March after Trump was elected, if it's the people cheering the murder of Charlie Kirk, and you just go by event by event by event. It's almost demonic. They sound like demons. That doesn't mean they are demons, but they are so convicted of what they must do, what they feel like they have to do, that they just lash out and lash out and lash out and lash out. And gosh, you look at these folks and you go, I think I would have done something different. I think I would have done better. And it doesn't matter if your hair is fuchsia or if you've got that, what is that? That upside down horseshoe. It has a name. And if you know the name, it's, what is the name of that? It's not frenulum. That's on the inside of your mouth. Is it septum? The inverted nose ring thing? And I'll tell the ladies and guys, I don't think anybody finds that attractive or makes that seem reasonable. But that's where we are. We've got crazy folks, and it's okay to be crazy. That's that's welcome to a quasi-free country. It's okay to be crazy. It's not okay to be violent. And when you get violent, there are lots and lots of problems. Actually, sort of expected a call by now. Telephone number again is 803 799 8255. And that's the Groucho's Deli in studio hotline. And I'm going to just double check something here just to make sure that it's possible. And let's see. It is possible. So it is, we have confirmation that it is working. So we have those issues, and we'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. So if you can't wait to open lines Friday, we will talk. But one thing I do want to talk about is the cop, the ICE policeman who was at the front corner, the driver's side corner of that car, who fired all three shots. He has internal bleeding from his injuries. So if you go like, oh, well, he didn't get hit. Well, it looks like he got hit. And I don't know if he was wearing a plate carrier to spread out some of the force, but it was enough to give him internal injuries. And I don't know if you've seen the tons and tons and tons and tons of videos. And I tried to, on socialist media, I tried to share as many of the different angles. And there's three pretty good videos that I think give you a good representation of what happened. The penultimate or ultimate one being that which the law enforcement officer was carrying. And oh my goodness, we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you? You, John, one of my favorite people from New Jersey. No, that's the truth. That's the truth. One of my favorite people from New Jersey. Yes, I can. I can. She hit him. She hit him with the car. I don't know what her intent was because unfortunately she's dead and we can't ask her. I don't know what her intent was, but she hit him with the car.
Hit him with a car so he
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. That's and Governor Walz signed the law, the Minnesota law, into effect that codifies that. What you know the ones. I mean, if they attack you with a deadly weapon, then yeah, yeah. I mean, if you attack somebody with a deadly weapon, even outside of law enforcement and special protections and restrictions on law enforcement, you have the fundamental right of humanity, and it doesn't matter if you're in Indonesia or Australia or the African Horn or India or the stands, all that stuff. Primary right of humanity is the right to self-defense. Because she posed no threat. She was standing in a window. She posed no threat. She was standing in a window, and there were 5 or 6 SWAT members within 12 feet of her, behind her. And that Bird guy is a loose cannon who leaves his Glock, which has no external safety, in a Capitol visitor city bathroom. Yeah, that's a details matter, right? Details. Everybody loves to know what's going on. No, no, no law, no law enforcement person died that day. Uh-huh. She hit him, and after the impact was the first shot.
Oh yeah,
The one through the bottom corner of the window glass. So within like 6 inches of the bottom corner of the window glass, that was the first one. And as she sped by, he fired 2 more shots in. Yeah, she's dead.
What bullet killed her?
Have no idea. Have no. Has that been released? Has that been released on your? Has that been released on your?
If you're in threat and you see somebody coming in,
Uh-huh.
so when you see them twice, whatever bullet kills you, the other one's murder. He's no.
That's not how it works. No, she maintained the weapon. All right. Hold on, John. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with you and let you finish your thought. Hold on. We'll be right back.
This is Fran Halloran. Tune into my show, The Intentional Living Power Hour, on Thursday mornings from 9 to 10 for simple and practical financial coaching on The Point, 100.7 FM, 1470 AM, Columbia's local talk radio experience.
Join us Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. for the Pastor's Pulpit with Steve Williamson.
People say out of the side of their mouth, "Oh, I believe in God." And then you tell them what God's word says about what they're doing.
9 a.m. Sunday morning for the Pastor's Pulpit.
Point A to Point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Online at brokersolar.com.
Rex at 2 Notch at O'Neill and also Garnish Ferry at Abernathy Steel, Killigan at Diesel and Park Terrace at Bower Parkway, Forest Drive at Beltline, Outblossom at UG Clearing, and Westinger at Dutch Fork with collisions to report. It's hunting season and get dialed in. Shooter's Choice will help you pick the right rifle, scope, and ammo zeroed in, ready for the woods. Shooter's Choice has it all. Shooter's Choice, SC.com. Doug Thomas on the point.
Point B traffic. 4 times an hour, mornings and afternoons on the point.
When I say Bergen Roofing is your neighborhood roofer, I mean neighborhoods in zip codes starting with 29. These are the communities we actually live in. We drive through. We know them by heart. And I'll be honest, it's downright cute watching certain roofers toss around lines about being your neighbors or in your neighborhood. We see exactly what they're doing. And no matter how hard they try, they'll never truly be your neighborhood roofer when they're owned by an equity firm pretending to be local. Friends, don't be duped when these folks masquerade as a so-called local company. If a business can't be upfront about something as simple as who owns them, you gotta wonder, what else are they willing to bend or stretch or hide? That's why smart homeowners always remember to trust but verify. Bergen Roofing is owned by Stuart Bergen, a real neighbor, not a corporate bean counter calculating optimal upsell targets. Too many of these so-called roofers roll into your neighborhood hoping their pitch distracts you from the fact they couldn't find your street without GPS. Call Bergen Roofing, 798-ROOF. The real neighborhood roofer, not the wannabe.
Hi, I'm Alicia Kaufman Quinton. My daddy, Billy Kaufman, opened Kaufman's Meat Plant at our present location in 1955. My family still works hard every day to ensure fresh quality cuts of beef, pork, and poultry. How about a tasty T-bone, ribeye, or New York strip steak? But to order at Kaufman's Meat Place. Just look for the signs near the intersection of US 1 and I-20 in Lexington. Call us at 356-0076 to place your order. Kaufman's Meat Place, when you want the very best your money can buy.
Discover the seamless blend of comfort and style with Lexington Discount Homes. With over 30 years of excellence in the housing industry, our focus is on delivering your dream home with unparalleled customer service. Explore a variety of designs tailored to meet any preference and budget. Drop by our showroom at 1847 Augusta Highway to witness the craftsmanship of a Lexington home firsthand, or explore online through a comprehensive virtual tour at LexingtonDiscountHomes.com. Choose comfort, choose style, choose Lexington Discount Homes.
Hey, it's Drew from ChimSpector. My job is to make sure your fireplace is working properly. At ChimSpector, we do annual inspections to ensure your home and family safety. We also inspect and clean dryer vents inside your home. Are your clothes taking more than one cycle to dry? If so, it's time to get your dryer vent cleaned and inspected. This can save you big dollars on your power bill and increase the performance of your dryer. Let the ChimSpector team take a look online at chimspector.com or give us a call at 803-859-5858. That's 803-859-5858.
Hey, Kev here. One thing that's truly unique about The Point is you. We call our listeners the Point family. You've stayed so loyal. You've stayed so supportive. Thank you for that. We call The Point Columbia's local talk radio experience. We're community driven. We push hard for our advertising partners because they're mom and pop businesses, small business owners. People ask me all the time, how can we help you with The Point, Kev? Well, it's pretty simple. Support those who support us. If you hear an advertising partner here on The Point, use them. Support them. Brag to them that you're there because you trust The Point. If you're a local small business owner, I'd love to have you as part of our lineup. Give me a call. Tell me your story. I'll create a customized advertising package that fits your budget and your needs. Nothing corporate, nothing cookie cutter. Look, if you haven't tried radio, it does work, especially here at The Point. Give us an opportunity to share you with our Point family. Call me. 563-8558. That's 563-8558. Or email me directly, kev@makethepointradio.com. I sure hope we could partner up. Join the Point family.
Columbia's local talk radio experience continues now from the Bart Fireside Studios.
All right, it does seem like the boys are back in town. We've got our friend John hanging on. Thanks for holding on there, John. Okay. Great. Not one of the January 6th, not one of the January 6th protesters was arrested with a weapon. Not one. So it was no. They screamed it was an insurrection. That they were. It was an insurrection against the government of the United States without any firearms.
Did they assault?
Has not retracted their Russia hoax claim. You know that? So no. So you can take them as a you can take them as a news agency because they won't do that one thing which was clearly a lie. They won't take that. They won't apologize for that. They're just ridiculous. But go ahead.
No.
You know, this is the biggest thing about this, John, is it's an indictment against the jury trial because you and I saw the same things, and we have live in a politically mediated reality, and you know exactly. Oh, the January Sixers, because the federal government never loses. They were in solitary confinement. They were tortured. U.S. Marshals Service had to intervene and move them to other facilities because it was such inhumane treatment. Oh, no. That he was murdered. He was murdered. I can't figure out how they're getting around that. Those Clinton Epstein files need to be done, and the Clintons need to be held to account because they've now violated, blown off 2 subpoenas for the Congress. Well, I mean, gosh, look, they put Bannon in jail. They put what was the economic advisor guy that they got him? They put him in jail, and they had the argument. No, they refused to testify because the president had asserted executive privilege. No, I haven't because no, because he's a crook of the highest order. Do you remember? Do you remember when they pulled? Do you remember when they pulled Mueller out of his coffin? Do you remember they pulled him out of his coffin? He's in a memory care facility now. He was at the edge of being there then, and then they just ran his reputation into the ground. Is despicable. Pound weapon she was driving. She hit the guy. He has internal injuries in less than a second. Yes. No, you hear the impact on the tape. You watched him being pushed 5 feet. I've seen at least 7 videos. Because it was icy. She translated him 5 feet from the impact. No, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Because ultimately the car started to pass him, and he was firing into the passenger compartment through the side open window. Oh no, well, gosh, I don't. Here's the thing, John. I don't know. I don't know if all the rounds were the same, like if same manufacturer. If somebody fired three rounds into a wall, I don't necessarily think you could pick out which one was first, which one was second, which one was third, unless they went into the same hole. He will never go to trial. He will never go to trial. To talk to you. I hope your family is rocking and rolling because good. And the girls? Even better. And I hope you're doing more than good, John. Thank you so much for the call. All right. Let's see. And I'm going to switch this up here. I wish I've got a thing. It's on drop call mode, and that's not what I want. I want it on. There we go. There we go. And we're going to jump right to the phones if it'll accept me, and it will almost do it. Hold on here. I apologize. We'll take a quick break and be right back with our next caller. We're almost there.
He's live. It's local. It's Kevin Cohen.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew at Washington. Not for sale. That's a message that the Danish and Greenlandic officials brought to their talks today with Vice President J.D. Vance here in Washington. Denmark's prime minister has warned that taking Greenland by force could end the NATO alliance, but President Trump continues to insist the U.S. needs to be able to control Greenland for security purposes. House Republicans preparing to hold former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in contempt of Congress. They've been refusing to testify before a House panel about the Jeffrey Epstein affair. Demonstrations continue against Iran's Islamic Republic. The judicial officials are threatening more trials and death penalties to quash all dissent. New NTSB findings show that the same type of part that broke on a UPS flight in Louisville, Kentucky last year had already failed 4 times before on 3 different aircraft. This is SRN News.
Are you tired of that sinking feeling when the electric bill arrives? Does the phrase peak hours trigger anxiety and a headache? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue of watching your hard-earned money evaporate right into the power grid? You may be suffering from utility pain and anxiety disorder, or UPAD. Symptoms include sweating when running the AC, a fear of turning on lights, and a general feeling of powerlessness over your energy costs.
It's time for you to try Solaris from Ken at Broker Solar. Broker Solar isn't a temporary fix, but a lasting solution with cutting-edge solar technology designed to address high energy bills at their source. Many clients have experienced immediate relief from high monthly payments with reports of increased home value and greater financial freedom. Imagine a brighter future for your home and your wallet. Side effects include the freedom to use your appliances when you want and a powerful sense of energy independence. Broker Solar. A brighter outlook for your home and wallet. Call us now, 803-807-7417. That's 807-7417 or online at brokersolar.com.
Point A to Point B traffic. Now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Search Broker Solar.
Wrecks at Farrell at Raven Road and also 200 Oak. A wreck at 77 south of the 18. A wreck at 77 south of the 18 and also Longtown at Holly Ridge Road. 4-wheel drive at Fashion and a wreck tying things up at West Killian at Farrell Road this time. And all clear elsewhere. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill, wing tenders, burgers, and more. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill, 2 knots across from Columbia Mall. Baker's open to midnight, Wednesday through Sunday. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill. We check back. Doug Thomas on the point.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
7.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy this evening, a low temperature dipping down to 34. Tomorrow we do get more sunshine, but we are very chilly. High is just 42. Tomorrow night, frigid, a low temperature dropping down to 19. For Friday, 49 the high. Nothing but a full sky of sunshine. For the weekend, Saturday, we get 57, a blend of the sunshine and clouds. Sunday's cooler. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
All right, it's Gene Garris filling in for Kevin Cohen, filling in for Fran Halloran. The other way around. Yeah. So I'm filling in for Fran, and Fran fills in for Kevin. And it's a great honor to get to speak to both of their audiences on an Open Lines Wednesday. And we're going to run right back to the phones, pull this down a little bit, and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man, tell me your first name.
Well, it's just
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, you and Fran are pretty close because I've heard you before.
yeah.
Well, that's great. Thanks for calling and talking to me.
No.
So, what's going on?
I
What say you?
well,
You the slap. You heard the impact. And it within like less than 2 seconds. So to second guess someone who was hit with a car who previously had been dragged by another person and hospitalized, he probably should not have been in service, street service. But when you initiate violence, you're largely responsible for everything else that happens downstream from that.
like it's them to do what they have to do. It's you to keep yourself alive. Her hitting them with the
It was stupid, and it excuses after that point everything else is fair game. Thing is the ICE policeman who was at the window had ordered her out of the car which he has legitimacy. There's a Supreme Court's case, Pennsylvania versus Mims, that allows a law enforcement officer to order you out of the car. So she was avoiding arrest. And remember, there's a co-conspirator there, the wife who was outside. At first, I thought it was Nick Fuentes, but the guy, the wife who was outside of the car, gave her instructions: drive, baby, drive. And so there might be some problems with that.
Either way, it's gonna be messy. It's gonna be ugly. What I still remember, and people are too simplistic at times when they forget why. When in Florida, it was pretty much illegal to have.
And that's one of the keys not to get a ticket is the law enforcement person lights you up, and it's nighttime. Let's say it's nighttime. You cut on your dome light. You roll down all the windows on the passenger or driver side of the car. You pull into a business. You put the nose of your car right at the business's building, so you are completely surrendered. Right. So you completely surrender. You take all the threat, all the fear out of the mind and heart of the law enforcement person, and frequently he or she will cut you a break.
I mean,
So my right to throw a punch ends at your nose. Right, 100%. If Well, thanks a lot, Will. Goodness, we're largely full up, and we'll jump to our next caller and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey, Gene.
Hey, Debbie, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Happy New Year. I just want to call, not comment on that situation because I have not seen the videos, and just based on hearing everyone, I agree with you guys. But I just want to say the next time someone like Caller John calls, would you please ask them to go into another room because the background noise
was crazy loud. Well, I was trying. I have some high frequency hearing loss from doing this and firing handguns a lot. And so I was trying to pick up if I was, because I was having to struggle to pick his voice out of the crowd. But yeah, 100%, 100%. But he's a good guy. I know him, and he's one of my favorite people from New Jersey, even though I disagree with him a lot.
I'm just using him as an example because he's your caller and it was there. The question is someone getting in the right turn lane and going straight.
Yeah.
And they don't, and so it's blocking you from turning right on red when they're in the lane and they're going straight. That's another pet peeve too.
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one, Debbie. All right, bye. And we're going to jump again to the phones and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
How about it?
I think it's good. Tell me your first name.
Marvin.
Hey, Marvin.
Who is this?
Gene Garris filling in for Fran, who fills in for Kevin.
I believe we met at the
listener appreciation thing.
Yeah, affirmative.
Oh, that's
There you go.
wonderful. That was wonderful. Well, glad to meet you then, and glad to talk to you now.
Good to hear your voice.
Well, tell me what's going on in your neck of the woods, Marvin. What say you?
I'm enjoying a little. I live over here in Cotton Town. It's nice and cool.
Yeah.
But what's happening out there in Minnesota is ridiculous. I mean, it's totally ridiculous.
Well, there are questions you can ask. Is like, didn't your mama raise you? Didn't your dad
No.
raise you better than that?
No.
No, and I'm serious. You know, when I was learning to drive, and my dad was had a property insurance agency, so we talked about relative risk and hazards and things like that all the time. So I was learning to drive, and I rolled through a stop sign, and my dad goes, 4 points.
Oh.
And I said, well, what does that mean? He said that you just got a failure to yield would give you a 4-point ticket. And I'm like, well, how much does that cost? And he said, well, the ticket's going to be like $150, but the total thing is going to be well over $1,000. And I go, what? And he goes, yeah, you just increased your insurance by a third for 3 years. That's $1,000. Was it worth $1,000, or could you taken that extra half a second? And then when we talked about what do I do when I get pulled over, he said, look, on the side of the road, you have no power, none at all. Your job on the side of the road is to get back home safely. And if it goes to trial, if it goes to court, that's when we might have a little whiff of power, not even necessarily big power, but it's the only power we'll ever have. So don't have the fight on the side of the road. Let the police officer do what he or she has to do, and you come home safely. But go ahead.
I told my son never ever lied to a police officer. Ever.
Well, that's one advantage of like
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, but
that gets them in big trouble.
But these like municipal court judges, you know, people have been lying to them for every day that they've been on the bench. They can spot it at a mile away. Law enforcement's the same deal. That's why they're judges. But law enforcement is the same way. If you start spinning a yarn, they'll just ask more questions until there's a problem.
Right. Well, Gene, thank you for taking my call.
All right, thanks so much.
I just hope those people up there in Minnesota and get a reality check. And hey, I mean, you know, we're trying to keep this country safe. That's what it's all about.
Right, and it's reasonable when the cop orders you out of the car, and he has the right to do that.
Affirmative.
To get out of the car. You know, all this could have been stopped by her just flipping the transmission lever into park. That's all it would have taken.
He told her, step out of the car. I live here in Columbia, downtown off Elmwood Avenue, Cotton Town. If a police officer, my dad was military, 31 years, retired, Army. I've always been taught, someone with authority asks you to do something, you abide by that authority.
Right.
Their last command is and there's a problem with that, you've got a problem.
Right. Oh, I got a jet, Marvin. Thank you so much for the call, and we'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is Chris Neely, Superintendent of the South Carolina Public Charter School District. I hope you'll join Kevin and me each Tuesday afternoon. We'll bring you Kids First, where we talk about educational issues and what we're doing to teach kids the right way. It's Kids First, Tuesday at 5:30 right here on 100.7 The Point.
Join us here Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on The Point for the Pastor's Pulpit with Steve Williamson. That's 9 a.m. Sunday mornings here on 100.7 FM The Point for the Pastor's Pulpit.
Point A to Point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Online at brokersolar.com.
Rex tying things up at Farrell at Raven and also 2-Notch right at 77 off the sign. I got a wreck also at 200 Oak Street, 77 southbound at the 18 with a wreck. Also Garner Street, Abernathy off the sign. Old Richmond Boulevard at Holly Ridge Road with a wreck. And also Park Terrace right at Bower Parkway off the side. Passion Drive at Forum out west Killian at Farrell Road, a collision. Baker Sports Pub and Grill. It's open Wednesday through Sunday through 12 and half-pound burgers, fresh wings and tenders, indoor, outdoor seating and takeout. Baker Sports Pub and Grill in front of the Columbia Mall on 2-Notch Road. Doug Thomas on the point.
Graphic. Times an hour, mornings and afternoons on the point.
Are you tired of that dripping faucet driving you crazy? Is your drain doing more of a gurgle than a flow? Don't despair. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is here to save your day. Serving our community as locally owned plumbing experts, Franklin Plumbing tackles everything from minor leaks to major clogs. And we're talking fast, friendly, reliable service. They respect your home. They respect your wallet. Josh and his team offer upfront pricing, and that's important. This team I'm talking about, they're fully licensed. They're insured technicians. They're ready for any plumbing crisis that you might encounter. Whether it's routine maintenance, a stubborn blockage, or a total plumbing overhaul, they'll get the job done right the first time. They've been out to my home, my brother's home, even his business. I'm comfortable, very comfortable bragging on Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Stop letting plumbing problems disrupt your life. Call Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning today and experience the difference that true expertise makes. Visit their website, franklinplumbing.sc.com, or give them a call, 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Ever notice big banks have great hold music?
Shortly.
That's because you're always on hold.
I'm Dean Scarborough with Mid Carolina Credit Union. When you call us, you get a real person. When you need answers, you get clear, honest explanations. And when it comes to your money, every decision we make is focused on what is best for our members. Mid Carolina Credit Union, real people, real service, real local.
Mid Carolina Credit Union.
Mid Carolina CU, federally insured by the NCUA, an equal housing lender, NMLS 403334.
It's open enrollment time again. What does that mean? It means you get to reevaluate your health insurance options. At the Alpine Agency, we work with you to find the right plan for your family. We have plans for as low as $0 a month, and we'll help you determine if your doctors and hospitals are covered in your network. Call 803-683-7765. Your agent will do the research, planning, and enrollment, and it won't cost you a dime for our services. Call us or visit us at alpineagency.com.
How often do you talk to your insurance agent? Have you had the same agent forever and just let your policy renew over and over again, even though the price of insurance has skyrocketed? I'm David Jolly of the Higgins and Halloran Insurance Agency. I'm the guy who wants to find you the best rates when that policy is ready to renew. I'm not tied to just one insurance company. I'll shop the best rates for you, and hopefully I can do better. If not, we'll find out why. Give me a chance. When you think about insurance, I ask that you think of me, David Jolly. Call me at 803-850-0054. and let's see how I can help.
We might not get the wrath of winter they get up north, but we still need something to take that cold edge off. Let Bart Fireside provide your warmth this winter with the comfort and convenience of gas logs. Bart Fireside can beautify existing fireplaces with new gas logs or install a new fireplace. Bring the family together this winter. Bart Fireside is National Fireplace Institute certified. Want more info? Take a look at bartfireside.com or go by the showroom to get some hands-on help. 1131 Broad River Road. Bart Fireside, keeping you warm this winter.
I'm Ram Reddy. South Carolina's government is broken. We're the highest tax rate state in America, but we rank at the bottom in income, education, roads, and public safety. Government is rich and powerful, but we, the citizens, have been made weak and poor. That's not what our founders intended. The Palmetto Revolution will restore the 1776 vision of our founders, returning money and power to you. Will you join us?
In the words of the Kimmer, Herb.
The afternoon drive with Kev continues from the Bart Fireside Studios.
All right, I'm Jim Garris, filling in for Fran, who fills in for Kevin on this wonderful Open Lines Wednesday. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255. That works out to be 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. You can't be first, but right now we're empty. You could be next, and I'll tell you a story. So there's a graphic going out there that's, and I really have a feeling that this, I'll give you what I think the answer is. There's a graphic out there about people. It's got a picture of a woman with luxuriously long hair, and she's shaving it off in remembrance of and protest of the shooting of Renee Good. Now, the reason this is funny is they've been some other things, some things that that you might remember, like there was when Apple did away with the external headphone jack. 4chan people, the anonymous image board, 4chan people created what looked like a print ad that said, "Hey, if you have a new iPhone but miss your jack, the jack is still there. It's just covered with the plastic case. So if you go in 11 millimeters from the left lateral side and put a mark in right in the center of the case, if you drill out a hole, that's where your headphone jack is, and you can use it as you used to." It was a hoax. A whole bunch of people ruined their phone. Same thing. They did this one was the print ad looking thing. It's very slick. I mean, it was perfect. They said that Apple has a new feature, and it was called, it's some Apple-y name, like InstaCharge or Quick Charge, where all you had to do was take your phone and place it in a microwave oven, and for just 30 seconds, you would get an instant full charge from the inductive charging system. Of course, it gorked a whole bunch of phones. You might remember, because it was disgusting, the free bleeding movement that sanitary products that are in the women's aisles, that was oppression by men, and that we needed to have this free bleeding movement. That was totally created by 4chan. People fell for it. It's very, very funny. I suspect the shave your head for Renee is also the same. And we're going to go right to the phones and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Hey,
What's going on there, Nick?
I don't know it, buddy. I don't know it. It's been a while since I've heard from my friend John, but yeah, I'm glad that, as he says, even with the internet and the mass communications, you can still be delusional, John. You can still be delusional.
Well,
Yeah.
and I really think that this is a new indictment of the trial by jury system in the United States, because anybody that has interest has looked at all the videos available, and everybody is making a decision predicated on their politics.
Yeah, they made the decision to see what they wanted to see, just like what happened with the woman that got shot. I would say lady, but I don't know her, so I'm not going to call her a lady. She wasn't acting like a lady. But,
well, there's some stuff that's going to we're going to find out. We're going to find out why exactly she lost custody of 2 of her kids. We're going to find out if she was a regular feature on Antifa message boards. We're going to find all that out. Do you want to hold on, Nick?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll bring Nick back at the start of the next hour. This is the afternoon drive on the point. Gene Garris filling in for Fran, filling in for Kevin. But we'll be right back after that. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255, 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you on 100.7 The Point by Mid-Carolina Credit Union.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report. The major averages finishing lower, led by tech, which weighed on the tech-heavy NASDAQ as investors digested the latest economic data that showed that wholesale inflation was cooler than expected in November, while retail sales grew 0.6% during the month. Geopolitical tensions fueled demand for safe haven assets, with the price of gold topping $4,600 a troy ounce and silver surging above $90 for the first time. Shares of Bank of America fell nearly 4% as Despite the bank delivering an earnings beat, Citigroup's quarterly results fell, but still topped forecast. Its stock fell over 3%. Credit card cap concerns are still weighing on banks. The Dow winners, Chevron, Johnson & Johnson, and IBM. The Dow decliners, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, and Amazon. The Dow falling 42 points. The Nasdaq lower by 238. S&P 500 down 37. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
If you're over 40 and plan to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize. As retirement moves from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've built becomes just as important as growing it. And that's where Noble Gold Investments comes in. They help investors reduce risk by adding gold and silver to their portfolios. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com, noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making investment decisions.
Here's something big banks don't advertise. They don't work for you.
At Mid-Carolina Credit Union, we do, because we are owned by our members, not shareholders. I'm Dean Scarborough. We may not be the biggest financial institution in our market. We do have the biggest heart. Come in and try us on for size. You might be surprised just how well we fit.
For a credit union that does work for you, Mid-Carolina Credit Union. Bank where you belong.
Mid-Carolina CU, federally insured by the NCUA, an equal housing lender, NMLS 403334.
You want to remodel. Actually, you need to remodel. I'm Eddie Springer of Treycal Builders, and with us, remodeling is easy. Whether it's your kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, or even the whole house that needs an upgrade, at Treycal, we'll help you every step of the way. We do first-class work quickly, cleanly, and affordably. Call 360-8211, 360-8211, or visit trecalbuilders.com. Treycal Builders, quality from start to finish.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Demonstrations against the government of Iran continue across that country despite threats of execution by the mullahs. Correspondent Charles de Ledesma reports.
The US-based human rights activist news agency now says the number of dead has climbed to over 2,570. The figure dwarfs the death toll from any other round of protests of unrest in Iran in decades and recalls the chaos surrounding the country's 1979 Islamic Revolution. After Trump was informed on the number of deaths, he warned Iran's leaders that he was terminating any negotiations and would act accordingly. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
At this hour, the country's largest cell phone provider is having major issues.
Verizon's wireless service is suffering an outage impacting cellular data and voice services around the country. Verizon subscribers complained online their phones were suddenly left without service and stuck in SOS mode. Verizon, which has more than 146 million customers, appears to have started experiencing service issues around 12 noon Eastern Time. In a statement, Verizon said engineers are engaged and are working to identify and solve the issue quickly.
That's correspondent Bill Alexander reporting. The Trump administration is still insisting it needs Greenland. Speaking with Salem Radio, military affairs analyst retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis says the U.S. has had a large military presence on Greenland in the recent past.
They have 40,000 people there during the Cold War, and we there because of the North Atlantic infiltration by Russian submarines. Go out there, but the numbers aren't as great.
On Wall Street, the Dow down by 42 points, the Nasdaq dropping 238, with the S&P 500 index lower by 37 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Sheepdog in theaters January 16th. I want to wake up in the morning and feel something. U.S. Army veteran Calvin Cole confronts his past and through the tough love and support of his community finds the courage to rebuild. Something that'll fall apart, trying ourselves all over again. Raw, real, and powerful. Critics hail Sheepdog as one of the best films of the year, and the Charlie Kirk Show declares it a must-see film. See Sheepdog in theaters Friday, January 16th. Rated R, under 17, not admitted without parent.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Things continue moving along in post-Maduro Venezuela, where their government is now releasing Americans who'd been imprisoned by the socialist dictator.
According to an official from the State Department, the release of Americans detained in Venezuela was an important step in the right direction by the interim authorities. No details or numbers of prisoners were given, but it is a significant gesture from the country's interim government following the capture of Nicolas Maduro, who was transported to the United States to face trial on drug charges. Last week, President Trump said he called off a second wave of strikes when he learned that Caracas was cooperating with the release of political prisoners.
The BBC's Peter Bowes reporting. Venezuela's acting president Delcy Rodriguez vows to continue releasing prisoners detained under former President Nicolas Maduro. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters. Luxury retailer Saks Global has filed for bankruptcy. It's preparing to reposition itself after obtaining about $1.75 billion in financing commitments.
Privately held company that owns Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the Southern District of Texas. Its top executive stepped down earlier this month as the company struggled with debt it took on for its $2.65 billion purchase of Neiman Marcus in 2024. The company is facing increasing competition as it tries to winnow down its heavy debt load, while many of its customers have refused to pay much higher prices. Rich Thomason reporting.
Shoppers increased their spending in November from October as holiday shopping kicked into full gear. Retail sales rose a better than expected 0.6% in November, according to the Commerce Department. More at townhall.com.
All right, it's a cool Open Lines Wednesday. Gene Garris here, filling in for Fran, who fills in for Kevin Cohen on the afternoon drive. We're taking your calls, as crazy as they might be, or quality ones, mostly quality ones. We'll be right back.
Point A to point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Search Broker Solar.
Collisions at Farrow at Raven Road and also 200 Oak, 77 south of 277. Emmanuel Church at Old Barnwood with the wreck, and also an accident out at Fulham Drive at Fashion. Longtown at Holly Ridge Road and a wreck at West Killian at Farrow Road, slowing traffic. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill open Wednesday through Sunday through 12 at half-pound burgers, fresh wings and tenders, indoor-outdoor seating, and takeout. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill on Two Notch Road. Doug Thomas on the point.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy this evening, a low temperature dipping down to 34. Tomorrow we do get more sunshine, but we are very chilly. High is just 42. Tomorrow night, frigid, a low temperature dropping down to 19. For Friday, 49 the high. Nothing but a full sky of sunshine. For the weekend, Saturday, we get 57, a blend of the sunshine and clouds. Sunday's cooler. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
All right, just like the nation state of Jordan, caught between a rock and a hard place. And we're going right to our phones with our friend Nick. How things going in Nick World?
Yeah, Gene, I just it's you know it's just a never ending story, man. And like I said,
All right, hold on for just a second, Nick. Hold on just for a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
The Bar Fireside Studios, Kevin Cohen.
All right, that's one thing that I had to do that I didn't do, and we checked all the boxes now. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, it's just discouraging that people are still obsessed about January 6th. I mean, I know the
Yeah, it's an
Epstein
article
thing
of
is-
faith. It's a religion.
Yeah, it is, and that's the problem. And like I said, I mean, I went through 8 years of Obama. 4 years of Biden, and I've never called this station and sounded like a lunatic, okay? But I've heard in, 12 years, I've heard plenty of people that seem to be rational people other than one subject, and then they just go off into mental hysteria.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
it's
if I
almost
met
like
you
it's
on the
a mental
street,
disease.
it is because I've had personal experience with it. I'm like you, like Kevin. I've got friends of all kinds of persuasions and all religions and all spiritual beliefs, and some of them are fine, and other ones who are perfectly sane on any given day until you say TRUMP, and then they lose their effing.
Minds. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's
they just go
almost comical.
completely. Yeah, it is. It's sad, but it's comical because, like I said, it's sad that I mean, I don't like a lot of things. I didn't like September 11th. I didn't like January 6th. I didn't like that supposedly Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama and anybody in human history. I didn't like any of that.
Right.
But I have to live with it because I have to know that there's things that happen, and what I'm saying is, if the January 6th thing, that's one thing. When it's just like what's going on in Iran right now, those kind of insurrections are the safe ones because they're easily put down.
Yeah.
Because when unarmed people take to the streets and you kill a couple thousand of them, the rest of them tend to get the message and go home. And it doesn't happen for another 2 decades or so. Just like what's happening in Iran, it's happened every 10 or 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what we don't get, the danger is the insurrection that's happening now from our friends like Ilhan Omar, and our buddy Barack Obama, who brought all these
Somalis.
undercover insurrectionists in, yes, from Somalia, because they're smart enough to know you don't always get the best deal at the point of a gun. You get the best deal by shaking a hand and stabbing somebody in the back. You get the best deal by fraud and corruption and lying, and that's what they're doing. And that sort of insurrection is a whole lot more dangerous than even what's going on in Iran. If we had thousands of people in the street of DC right now trying to burn the Capitol down, it's a lot less dangerous than what we have with the squad right now.
Well, here's sort of a wild thing. And I know it's an article of faith for our friends on the left. If January 6th had been an actual insurrection, there would have been a sea of blood. If a third of the people that were there showed up with firearms, it would have been a sea of blood. And that people in one of the things that comedian Norm Macdonald posted on Twitter X was, look at those radical insurrectionists staying confined within the velvet rope in the Capitol. So it took a CBS television producer and Lizard Cheney and Bella Pelosi, and now we're finding out that crime after crime after crime with the J6 actors and Kingsener. Man, the Democrats loved him so much they gerrymandered him out of the district, so he was gone. And it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And I know people that were there, and it was different than what we were led to believe by our friends on the left.
And it proves a couple of things, because you absolutely, we know now that on any given day, the federal government, if they want to track you hard enough, they track every single grandmother at January 6th, but they took them 8 years to blame somebody for putting out pipe bombs. Okay.
Yeah, which was the impetus. That was the reason that they changed the security profile, was the pipe bombs.
They were tracking everybody supposedly, but my point being, I'm just tired of the joke that we call it is freedom, but all I'm saying is you can't live in both camps at one time. You can't be a Somali citizen first and a U.S. senator second. You can't be this and that. There needs to be no more dual citizenship in any political office in the
Hey,
land of the
I'm
United States
I'm
of America.
100% with you, except I want to go even further. I don't want to accept naturalized citizens, people that were born in other countries and then became Americans. If you are a judge, you should be born here. If you are a Congress critter, you should be born here. If you are leading a state agency, you should have been born here. If you are leading a nation state thing, you should be born here. The risk of takeover for the chief executive was so important. They were founders were so afraid of an Englishman, a royal Englishman coming to America and taking the government, that they said, no, you have to be born in America. And I think we ought to expand that. And dual citizenship is dual loyalty. You can't help, that's why I opposed Dr. Oz, was because he was a, a Turkish military reservist. It's even worse than just being a dual citizen. He was actually served in the army of now a foreign country. So I think we can do better.
We still have them. Yeah, and I agree. And we still have active duty military from other countries, and some would call our best allies. But I don't care how much of an ally you are, and that's what puzzles me about. And I'm not just picking on Kevin, because we've had this discussion multiple times, me and Kevin, over the years about his views on things. And like he says, he doesn't care if you're gay, lesbian, whatever, whoever, as long as it's you and your monogamous partner, as long as you're loyal to that one person. I'm like, so you don't care what their beliefs are if they're loyal to that one person, but they can be, if it's that important to be loyal to the person you live with, how much more important when you're holding millions of people's authority in your hands to be loyal to them, to their government, and not as Tim Walsh will say, the flag in his state right now is a Somali flag.
Right. They changed their state
I
flag
don't
to
need
make it
see
look like
anymore.
the Somali flag. That's just crazy.
Exactly.
That's just crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. So I'm just saying, somebody who's that adamant about, I don't care what your beliefs are as long as you're loyal, take that. And I can only cheat on my wife, and that just hurts her and me. If I am a congressperson, if I'm a politician, and I'm not loyal to the people that I work for, it hurts everybody.
Right. And
Okay,
and so
that's what I'm
I'm
saying.
willing to go ahead and just make a rule so we don't have to talk about this anymore. You
Yeah.
should be born in America. And this is a wrong
wholeheartedly agree.
wrong thing to think about, but we have candidates for statewide elective office here in South Carolina that are from Ohio, for other places. And Ohio is wonderful. I know lots of great people from Ohio, but I also remember Barbara Nielsen. So I'm not necessarily a big fan of people from other places coming to South Carolina and telling us how to do things as an elected official. Nick, I got to jump, but I look forward to talking to you. Won't be here on Sunday, unfortunately, but not this Sunday, but we'll be back the week after that. Thanks so much, Nick. And we're going to run. We're going to run to the next segment and be right back after this.
Hi, this is Chris Neely, Superintendent of the South Carolina Public Charter School District. I hope you'll join Kevin and me each Tuesday afternoon. We'll bring you Kids First, where we talk about educational issues and what we're doing to teach kids the right way. It's Kids First, Tuesday at 5:30 right here on 100.7 The Point.
Every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on The Point, join me, Chad Jordan, and my co-host Larry Jordan for the Palmetto Real Estate Pros. We'll help you out whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just learn all things real estate every Friday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Point A to Point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Online at brokersolar.com.
Foul at Raven Collisions, 200 Oak Street still active. We got 77 North Killian and 77 South at 277. Emmanuel Church at Old Barnwell with a collision to report as well. Little Pigs Buffet Carry Out and Catering Thursday through Sunday, Alpine Road. Live music on Friday night. Excellent barbecue. Little Pigs. Doug Thomas on the point.
Times an hour, mornings and afternoons on the point.
Step into summer with no unwanted guests in your home.
At Modern Exterminating Company, we're not just experts in pest control, we're your neighbors.
Glenn and Melanie Matthews here. Modern Exterminating has been part of this community since 1955, offering unmatched experience with the family touch.
Trust us to keep your home pest-free with care and dedication that only a local family-owned business can provide.
Experience the Modern Exterminating difference. Call us at 765-2315 or visit pestfreesc.com.
Let us keep your home truly yours.
Still living with outdated floors or carpet that just won't come clean? At Carpet One Columbia, we make it easy to refresh your space with durable hardwoods, luxury vinyl, carpet, and custom area rugs that fit your style. We're locally owned and operated with 2 convenient showrooms, one next to Riverbank Zoo and one in West Columbia. Stop in for a free flooring consultation, no appointment needed. Carpet One, beautiful floors, helping you create a home you love to live in.
Hi, it's Mary Catherine
and Thomas from Louisiana Purchase, inviting you to start your day sweet with beignets and coffee from 9 to 11.
Treat yourself to lunch at Louisiana Purchase and find one-of-a-kind gifts you won't see anywhere else.
Stop by Cypress Market for gourmet meats, cheeses, fine wines, and ready-to-go items.
Give your weddings, graduations, holidays, and office parties Southern flair with our catering and custom charcuterie.
Visit Louisiana Purchase, your taste of the South, all in one stop.
LouisianaPurchase.com.
Carolina Blind and Shutter is Columbia's oldest and most trusted source for interior plantation, real wood exterior, and Bahama shutters. Experience craftsmanship you can see. Visit Columbia's only local showroom or schedule a convenient in-home consultation. Quality, tradition, and personalized service. That's the Carolina Blind and Shutter difference. Call 803-796-5564 for an appointment or browse online at carolinablindandShutter.com. Discover timeless style for your home. Carolina Blind and Shutter.
Have you had a broken windshield complement to those South Carolina roads? The insurance company might try to steer you one way to the big national guy, but remember, it's your choice. Go local. Call Absolute Glass.
We can repair your car back to factory specifications, including recalibrating all of your safety systems. We do great work and have been building long-lasting relationships for over 20 years.
That's why we've been voted best glass company in Lexington for 15 straight years. Visit us online at absoluteglassinc.com or call us at 951-7200. And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
When you think of family, you think of hugs and lots of love. That's what your loved one will find when they move to Oakley Village for assisted living or memory care. You can rest assured your family members will participate in engaging activities, have exceptional care, and all their needs met. You gain peace of mind that comes from family taking care of family. Call Oakley Village today at 803-969-8168 and see how you too can join a community that feels like family. Or you can reach us online at oakleyvillagelexington.com.
Columbia's local talk radio experience continues now from the Bart Fireside Studios.
All right, and we're back, and we're going to jump right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Dean, happy Wednesday.
What's going on there, David, the Professor de las Ciencias?
Well, hopefully.
There used to be, when President Obama was given the State of the Nation address, there was a drinking game that you had to drink every time he said "I," and within the first 5 minutes, you had to call the ambulance.
Exactly. It was, I guess, the ninth day, the 9 ladies dancing, the 9th day of January Sickness. So, just want to wish them a happy 9th day of January Sickness. But no, you're absolutely right. You know, the difference between F.C. Babbitt and this lady in Minnesota is one was murdered and one committed suicide. Because the girl in Minnesota, she basically committed suicide. She caused her own death by her actions, and she's responsible for it. the ICE agent will, like you said, he will not see trial. He shouldn't see trial. He did his job properly. But, you know, at some point, Gene, we got to make it a normal thing to let police do their job. You don't have to be interfering. I think Chris Putin said today, I think they're actually talking about legislation here to kind of put guardrails on, I guess, how close you can come to police that are engaged in a stop or something like that. Film all you want, yell all you want, but you're not going to get up in there. You're certainly not going to drive your car opposite of the way traffic flows or perpendicular or anything like that. Gene, have you
Now
seen
here's
the
something.
video?
Well, here's something also to think about. You know, the ICE police cars are emergency vehicles. So she blocked the egress and process of these emergency vehicles, which just in regular code here in South Carolina, that would be a crime.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you tried to give the facts. I know he didn't want to hear them, but the facts are, as far as Mr. Byrd goes, that actually murdered an American citizen. That man has a demonstrated history of not being able to maintain a weapon or operate a weapon properly. And it was thanks to Biden's DOJ that got him out of that. But he absolutely was guilty, but, you know, he had no chance of being prosecuted because that DOJ. But have you seen the video of, and I believe it says actually United Methodist Church, which big shock there, where they're actually having training where the people are enacting like, you're the detainee, you're the ICE agent detaining them, you're the one who's going to videotape them, and then you, the fourth one, is going to be the one who's going to make noise and cause agitation and try to disrupt them. Actually training them to do this inside of a church.
Yeah.
I mean, are we in alternate reality here? I don't get it, you know?
Well, the answer is yes. We're in a politically mediated reality. And again, I share this with you. I might have done this before, but earlier in the show, this, to me, calls trial by jury way into question. Because you've seen the videos, I've seen the videos, our liberal friends have seen the videos, and we will say, this is what I saw. And they go, no, that's not it. He didn't hit her at all. She didn't hit him at all. I said, no, I saw it. I saw it. And in his video, I heard it. And then when I read the thing today that he has internal injuries from not getting hit, you know, it is what it is. And but it almost to the point, they are so hate-filled. It's almost as bad as when President Trump said he wanted to build a ballroom. It's almost as bad as when he said that Greenland should be the United States. It's almost the same as Trump saying Canada should be our 51st state. It's almost so they act this way all the time. So it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, but you know, the one thing about the Minnesota mom is, I know she did very horrible, but she didn't. At least she didn't talk peacefully on a Utah college campus.
Yeah, that's
at least
right.
She didn't do something horrible like that. You know. But
yeah.
Did you play early on standing?
No.
7-2. They were the good guys. This is involving political candidates having standing. So basically, it's voter integrity, election integrity type legislation. So,
well, great, because that was the defeat of all of the Trump things. They denied that he had standing. None of the facts were ever presented to a court that I know about. But yeah, well, thank God. So issue solved.
Absolutely, a little too late, but you know, at least we're starting to see a little bit of return to normalcy, a little bit of return to common sense. But you know, like I said, ultimately, let's normalize letting police do their jobs. I don't know if you've heard of these guys. These guys are kind of like a younger version of Nick Shirley. One guy is Frank Scales, another guy is Ian something, but they're called Search Philly. And they were up in Philadelphia videotaping the protest about ICE. And this was common, Gene. Like Frank was amongst the big crowd and was being told, get out of here. You're not allowed to be here across the public street. And they do what they do a lot of times, Gene. These people are so organized that they're like, you know, CBN or I'm sorry, you know, like radioing to each other. and then a group all of a sudden gets around him and surrounds him. They maced him and everything. And of course they got their mask on, I guess they're trying to be safe for COVID. But this is the normal for them, Gene, and they're not, the people who are moderate, sensible Democrats and liberals are not willing to call these people out.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Well, the other
When you're
thing
not willing
is
to
it's a terror. These people are so terrific in the negative that regular Democrats won't oppose them because they know what's on the back end, that they're going to be not just ostracized, but they'd be attacked, that they're putting their job or their a significant other's job in jeopardy. They know what kind of people they're dealing with. They might not say it, but they know it.
Yeah. Clinton, Bill and Chelsea's stepmother did not agree to fill out for, they were subpoenaed, so we'll see how that goes. But nothing says I'm guilty more than refusing to show up.
Yeah. And again, I from now on will call them the Clinton Epstein files, because that which has been released, he is a prime mover in all the things that have been released, and he's creepy enough. And Juanita Broderick can tell you exactly what he did to her. And so if remember, this is the guy that there's a word. And I'm not going to say it, that's in the congressional record because of this horrible man. Thank you so much, David.
Thank you,
we'll
Gene.
let you go.
Take care.
And our other people on deck will bring you on right after the break. I'm Gene Garris, filling in for Fran Halloran, who's filling in for Kevin Cohen on the afternoon drive. Hold on, people. We'll be right back.
He's live. He's local. He's Kevin Cohen.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A top Danish official says a fundamental disagreement over Greenland remains with President Trump after talks in Washington with Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The two sides did agree to create a working group to discuss ways to work through differences as Trump continues to call for a U.S. takeover. The State Department says it will suspend the processing of immigrant visas for citizens of 75 countries whose nationals are deemed likely to require public assistance while living in the United States. The department said it had instructed consular offices to halt immigrant visa applications from the countries affected. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 42 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Are you tired of that sinking feeling when the electric bill arrives? Does the phrase peak hours trigger anxiety and a headache? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue of watching your hard-earned money evaporate right into the power grid? You may be suffering from utility pain and anxiety disorder, or UPAD. Symptoms include sweating when running the AC, a fear of turning on lights, and a general feeling of powerlessness over your energy costs.
It's time for you to try Solaris from Ken at Broker Solar. Broker Solar isn't a temporary fix, but a lasting solution with cutting-edge solar technology designed to address high energy bills at their source. Many clients have experienced immediate relief from high monthly payments with reports of increased home value and greater financial freedom. Imagine a brighter future for your home and your wallet. Side effects include the freedom to use your appliances when you want and a powerful sense of energy independence. Broker Solar. A brighter outlook for your home and wallet. Call us now, 803-807-7417. That's 807-7417 or online at brokersolar.com.
Point A to Point B traffic. Now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Search Broker Solar.
Baker's Sports Pub and Grill. Open Wednesday through Sunday until 12. Half-pound burgers, fresh wings and tenders, indoor and outdoor seating and takeout. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill in front of the Columbia Mall on Two Notch Road.
That's right. Don't drink and drive. Call Schroeder's Towing instead, and they'll come pick you up and take your car home. 772-7930.
Wreck site at 277 and also assembly at 2G Streets, 900 Hardin Street and Edmond Highway at Crystal Springs, Prattle at Raven and Harbison Boulevard at Broad River Road, Leesburg at Fairmont, and a wreck also at 77 north at the 18, 77 south at the 18, 77 north at Killian, and Emmanuel Church at Barnwell. Little Pigs Buffet, carry out and catering Thursday through Sunday, Alpine Road, Little Pigs Barbecue, Detour Dave.
On Point Weather, brought to you by our friends at Palmetto State Armory.
Here's tonight's forecast. Cloudy this evening, a low temperature dipping down to 34. Tomorrow we do get more sunshine, but we are very chilly. High is just 42. Tomorrow night, frigid, a low temperature dropping down to 19. For Friday, 49 the high. Nothing but a full sky of sunshine. For the weekend, Saturday, we get 57, a blend of the sunshine and clouds. Sunday's cooler. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
All right, so we're going to drop out of this quickly so we can get to our callers. Hey, caller, how are you?
Good, Gene. How are you?
I'm doing great. Tell me your first name.
This is Charlie.
All right, Charlie, I remember you. I'll get the
Yeah,
voices eventually. I'll get the voices eventually.
Yeah, and I'm from Jersey.
Okay. Well, John's from Jersey,
But,
and he's one of the finest New Jerseyites I know. And hopefully, when I meet you, I can say that about you also.
Yeah, well, Jersey's in big trouble right now. They really are. They got a mess going on there.
Yeah, property taxes, and they voted for it. They I hate the property taxes. It's too expensive to live here. More. They vote for the party of more, and they're going to get it good and hard.
They're also trying to pass a bill to become a sanctuary state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, how that'll
cool.
work out.
So we'll make New Jersey the only sanctuary state, and we'll fill it up with cremigrants, and then ICE will go and enforce federal law in that state.
There you go.
I mean, easy
Exactly.
pickings. You don't need to send them to Texas. Don't need to send them to Minnesota.
No.
Make them a sanctuary state and corral them up,
We'll
and
bunch 'em up all
we'll get them.
there. But anyway, I was curious. I don't know whether it was real or not, but did you get a chance? We're talking about the shooting in Minneapolis. Did you get a chance to see the overhead picture?
I have seen an overhead picture, but it wasn't a motion thing. It was just a photograph of the relative position of all the people.
But where would that have come from?
It would have to come from one of the row houses or exotic security cam on one of the things, or it could be from a drone. I would suspect that ICE would be very smart to pop a drone in the sky anytime there's an event. But here's another crazy thing. Like I was driving my sister-in-law's Mercedes SUV, and it had a feature that was 360 view from the car.
Right.
You got a 360 view of all around your car, and I'm like, wow, that really is engineered like no other car in the world.
Yeah. I think the Teslas do that too.
Oh yeah, but they have tons of cameras too. I bet the
Yeah.
Mercedes one does also.
They caught everybody, peeing them.
Well,
But
that's
anyway,
there's a lesson there, Charlie. So more than anybody on the planet, Elon Musk has been the proponent of electric cars and green energy, and just because he agreed with President Trump on a couple things, they're willing to burn his dealerships down and then burn, scratch, key, destroy the cars of people they were probably fellow travelers with 18 months earlier.
Right. Well, it's interesting, and I believe, this is my belief, I have no foundation to it, but I've been around a while. I don't know how old you are.
54.
But,
54.
Okay, well, you're not too far behind me. I believe this has become, and it's been through the social media, a lot of the big media. This is mass psychological warfare, is what it really is. because they get these people and they get them on a roll with everything, and everybody connects on social media. And then, of course, now they all want to stay in the club, and they just buy into all of this stuff. And eventually, you start to believe it.
Well, how about this? How about this, Charlie? So there's a lot of sexual deviancy on the planet, and like we'll use the furries as a example. Well, you might live here in Columbia, South Carolina, and there might not be any furry friends for you to hang out with, but you jump out on the internet and you're going to find a whole bunch of them. And you're going to sign up to news groups, and you're going to be in Facebook groups. So you're going to get hammered with this content. Well, the same thing is from these deviant leftists. They get essentially registered in the army of the left, and all the media they consume. You can pick what comes to you, and those things that you go to, you get more of them because of the algorithm. And then they're just totally inundated.
Absolutely.
So everything they see is the same stuff. But yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild in that way, and it's really disappointing.
Well, you know what, and you know what's one of the most telling things, I think, and this is in another subject, talking about what's going on in Iran, and that is that there's a big broadcast media has not even covered this,
right? Because it helps the wrong people.
I believe it's CBS is the only one, because they're kind of like turned a new leaf,
right? They want to be relevant. I mean, how much?
Yeah, they want to be relevant, and they're gonna blow ABC, because ABC, they're terrible.
Yeah, well, gosh, ABC, George stuffing envelopes had to pay him $16 million to Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump has a suit right now against the BBC, and it's going to be in the billions of dollars.
And Snuffleupagus was also, don't forget, he was Clinton's right-hand man.
Right. He was an architect of the Clinton administration.
Well, yeah. And I'll tell you what, I think these Clintons, I think that I think they may go to jail. Just like Bannon and what was his name?
It's like Foreigner, but that's not it. It's I'll think of it. As soon as the microphone goes off, I'll think of it.
Begins with an N.
Navarro.
There you go.
And so not only did he do the right thing, when he realized that there's a likelihood that he was going to get arrested, he had his attorney call the FBI, and Navarro lives in a building that is within like 60 yards of the FBI headquarters.
No, they made a show out of it.
Right, because the attorney said, "Hey, look, if you are going to arrest him, we'll come meet you. We'll surrender to you." And they picked him up, I think, either at the airport or on the way to the airport.
The airport. They wanted to give the most embarrassing situation. And as far as January 6th is concerned, that was just that was an operation.
Well, how about this? How about this, Charlie?
That were in there.
Thanks to the stuff in Georgia, we know that Georgia could not have been certified. They had 315,000 ballots that could not be.
That came out of nowhere.
Right. So Georgia.
Do you remember the warehouse in Georgia? Remember they wanted to go to that warehouse, and they said they couldn't get to it because there was some water line break.
No, that was when they did the counting in the Staples Center. That they had a water main break, and they ushered everybody else, and it was a leaking toilet.
Yeah.
And so once all the Republican observers,
they wanted to see these other ballots.
Right. It pulled them out from under the counter. That stuff was on video.
Yeah, we were watching it. We were watching them run them through
multiple times.
Yeah.
And then with the Kamala Lama Ding Dong campaign, what happened to the 20 million voters that Biden got? Where'd they go?
Yeah, right. Well, that's funny because, you know, if you go through the voting for a presidential election over the years, really the maximum amount of people that actually vote was like something like 112 or 114 million or something like that. And then all of a sudden there was like 120 something million. It's like, where the hell did they come from?
Right, 100% right, Charlie. I got to run and
All
take
right.
a quick break. Thanks for, and I'm glad I got to meet you at the listener appreciation event. It's always great to go to those things, and I hope to go to the next, everyone for the foreseeable future. But thanks so much, Charlie, and we're going to jump right away.
The
And
Actor
be
Union
right back.
Live with Kevin Cohen.
This is Fran Halloran. Tune into my show, The Intentional Living Power Hour, on Thursday mornings from 9 to 10 for simple and practical financial coaching on The Point, 100.7 FM, 1470 AM, Columbia's local talk radio experience.
Every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on The Point, join me, Chad Jordan, and my co-host Larry Jordan for the Palmetto Real Estate Pros. We'll help you out whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just learn all things real estate every Friday right here at 100.7 The Point.
Point A to point B traffic now from Broker Solar. Local, honest, solar. Online at brokersolar.com.
77 south of the 18, 77 north at Killian. Collisions. Emmanuel Church at Old Barnwell is out. We also have Leesburg at Fairmont. Continuing delays at 2 notch at 77. A new wreck here. 900 Hardin Street and also Edmond Highway at Crystal Springs out. Barrow at Raven. Also Harvested at Broad River Road, slowing traffic down. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill. Wings, tenders, burgers, more. Baker's Sports Pub and Grill. 2 knots across from Columbia Mall. Doug Thomas on The Point.
Times an hour, mornings and afternoons on The Point.
Are you dreaming of a home that's safe and stylish, truly yours? Supreme Site Services is your Midlands expert for privacy fences that upgrade your security and boost your curb appeal at the same time. Michael and his team did our new fence at the new house. And if a fence can be stunning, we've got it. They use the best materials. They have a great crew that cleans up after they've completed the job. You know what? They guarantee your satisfaction. I've already had neighbors ask for Michael's contact info. Supreme Site Services has custom solutions for every homeowner and every vision, from wood to vinyl or aluminum, even a custom gate. Call 609-9760 for a free estimate. Let Supreme Site Services build boundaries that protect what matters most while welcoming you home every day in style. Supreme Site Services, where quality meets peace of mind. 609-9760 or online at supremeservicessc.com.
It's open enrollment time again. What does that mean? It means you get to reevaluate your health insurance options. At the Alpine Agency, we work with you to find the right plan for your family. We have plans for as low as $0 a month, and we'll help you determine if your doctors and hospitals are covered in your network. Call 803-683-7765. Your agent will do the research, planning, and enrollment, and it won't cost you a dime for our services. Call us or visit us at alpineagency.com.
Tired of floors that go squeak, squeak, squeak? Are your carpets more vintage avocado green than modern chic? Ooh, rough. You really need to call Floor Boys. Floor Boys is ready to rescue your home from the tyranny of terrible flooring. We're talking gleaming hardwood so shiny you could check your reflection, luxury vinyl that laughs at spilled juice, and carpet that feels like walking on a cloud made of cute little kittens. Forget affordable. At Floor Boys, we'll make things affordable. So either shimmy on down to Floor Boys in Lexington to visit our showroom or visit us online, floorboys.com.
Hey, honey, did you help Dad look for Medicare Part D plans online?
Yes, and I think I'm more confused now than when we started.
Well, don't forget that True Pharmacy can help you with Medicare plan reviews. They can help go through his options and find a plan that works best.
Perfect. That means fewer headaches for him and for us.
That's a win-win.
True Pharmacy, the pharmacy that takes time to care. Come see us at our Columbia location at 623 Beltline Boulevard or in West Columbia at Triangle Pharmacy, 1239 B Avenue.
Hey, all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven-baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks, y'all, and God bless.
Life's busy, but that shouldn't mean putting your car care on hold. At Team One Sudduth Automotive on Millwood Avenue, you can drop off your vehicle outside business hours and count on our certified technicians to do the rest. From oil changes to engine overhauls, we make it easy for you and your car. Enjoy nationwide warranty, top quality parts, and a team that really cares. You can even visit team1automotive.com and book an appointment at your convenience. Team One Sudduth Automotive, we fix everything. That's team1automotive.com.
The Afternoon Drive with Kev continues now from the Bark Fireside Studios.
All right, Gene Garris here, and we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Gene.
Hey, what's going on there, Professor Ed? What's happening in your neck of the woods?
Not much. I'm just watching the news and looking at Greenland and
Did you hear they have a working group to continue discussions? Did you hear that? That Denmark and I think they met with the vice president and but yeah, so the crazy thing was I found out I might have said this on the Sunday program that who's the guy that dropped the atomic bombs? Truman. Truman had tried to buy it because of its strategic. Yep, that's right. Strategic. How about this? Do you know when Truman was vice president, he did not know anything about the Manhattan Project? It was too important to share with the vice president.
I did know that.
That is sort of wild, isn't it? But yeah, that Truman recognized the importance of Greenland and tried to buy it for the United States.
I also knew that.
Well, I did not until I maybe spoke about it on Sunday. And so there is strategic value, long-time strategic value to Greenland. We're the only people that can have the early warning super radar and missile defense system. And so it'd be worth us planting the flag.
But when the Danes said no, he dropped it. That was the end of it.
Right. Well, we're in a different world.
We can do every security sort of thing we want. The Danes would be happy for us to. The Greenland people would be happy.
Our Danish
they get a lot of money from American servicemen.
Well, I think I saw a thing with one of the Inuit Indians that are there, and they have rampant alcoholism and suicide. And of the 57,000 people that are there, I think the average income is $40,000 US. And I saw a guy an American that went up there and was doing one of these guy on the street things. And he talked to one, almost all the women said, no, it's not for sale, never. And he was talking to some of the men, and the guy said, well, what if the United States paid you $20,000? And he's like, no, it's not for sale. We wouldn't go for it. And at the end of the interview, he said, well, what if the United States paid you $100,000? And they're like, oh, we'd be before it. So it's not hard. It's not hard national pride with that group of people. Never. I'm sorry?
If we had to spend those big bucks, what would we get out of it?
Greenland.
But why? Why is it important that we have it?
Same reason that Truman wanted it, except now even more. And controlling the Arctic is a big deal, especially for missile defense.
to put bases there. Well, we had bases there the whole.
We still got one now.
The whole Cold War. In fact, we've even
No,
shut down
before
a few.
before
But
the
it
Cold
wasn't
War.
because
Before the
of
Cold War.
that. But it wasn't because they objected that we shut those down.
No,
That
when
was,
the
that was
Nazis overran Denmark, the leadership in exile, the secretary, like Homeland, what is it? The Secretary of State of Denmark signed a treaty with the United States that we could build military bases there.
That's right.
But
even with
go ahead.
Even with the Nazis holding Denmark, it wasn't important to us to actually own Greenland. So again, I ask, why do we need it now except to serve the man in the Oval Office to serve his vanity?
Oh,
And that's what it's all about.
No, it's not. Absolutely not. So right now, Denmark is almost a failed state. They're overrun by Islamic immigrants. Almost all their murders and violent crimes are from immigration. What if their government flips like the government of Minnesota, and we don't own it, but they still have territorial control, but we have a base there, and they say, all right, y'all are out. We're done with this. Then what are you going to do?
Well,
you only have $500 billion invested.
Maybe you got a case, but not now.
No, you try not to get there. The trick is to solve the problem before it becomes a real problem. And who takes it? Who takes
Denmark doesn't want to give it away, and the Danes themselves and the Greenlanders themselves don't want to be.
Well,
part of
in the same way that old man, fictional character Don Corleone says, "I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse." The deal: we're superpower. We're the superpower.
That is a good analogy.
Yeah, it is.
Don Corleone and Donald.
Right, Donald.
Donald.
Well, that would be good. I've got two people I got to get on. Ed, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the wait, but I got him as quickly as I could, and we're going to jump and say, "Hey, caller, how are you?" We're in a rock and rolling mode right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim. Hey, Super Tim.
It's going. Yeah, it had a good point, man.
He always makes points that are reasonably reasoned and
yeah, it's reasonable. It's reasonable, man. It's reasonable, and I'd be glad with you and Charlie and Dave and Jared and the rest of the gang. We get out of this Orwellian brainwashing, man. Gene, we got military sites all over Greenland, man.
Right,
okay?
but we can be asked to leave. We only have one base. Well,
I was there for us. We got guys that are really weak. Okay, I got my Arctic boots there, man. Still, I can't wear here. But anyways,
do they have the valve on the side? Do they have are the Mickey Mouse boots?
The bunny, no, not the bunny ones, the green ones.
Okay.
The ones that really big up, very insulated so well. I can't wear them here. But anyways, okay. First of all, this guy is doing another interventionist nonsense pretext. Okay, I'll tell you what he's trying to do, man. Him and Elon Musk discovered that there are rare minerals that Elon Musk wants, okay, over there in Greenland. That's what they're flying around. No one knew what they were flying around last summer in the airplane, just flying around.
So Charlie Kirk went there. Charlie Kirk and Don Jr., they were studying the lay of the land. In fact, when we take it, and we will take it, I think we ought to call it. We ought to call it Kirk.
Well, not according to NATO.
Yeah. France with one aircraft carrier is going to tell us what we're going to do. France, a failed state. France with no-go zones in their capital. They're going to tell the United States what to do.
Now, Gene, the United States is coming. Well, congratulations. We're now officially the evil empire. Okay.
No, we're an empire, and we've always been an empire. But now that we've been accused of being an empire, and I'm willing to go for it. If we're going to be accused of being an empire, let's start doing imperial stuff.
Y'all sound crazy, man. I tell you what, it'd be a sad sight to see NATO will team up with Russia and China and North Korea. You get really nice.
No, we could have
Hitler, man.
We could have a American Russian alliance.
We become a Hitler. Okay?
Russia's a lot closer to the American people than is the new Europe.
Well, put it this way. United States
A
can be brought down,
Christian
okay?
nation,
Not a
largest
Christian
country
nation.
on the planet, bridges the Atlantic and Pacific.
We are now the official evil empire. We even got the Nazi guys running on the street asking for where your papers are. You know, we got the whole line.
No. That's
Now-
when
now-
Kurt
now-
Waldheim was head of the UN. You know, it's nothing like having a Nazi
Okay, Dave.
officer running the world government.
Okay, today, what about the non-intermissionist? Donald Trump not going to be for forever wars. What happened to that? See, we betrayed you
So,
guys
so
already.
have we had a
Y'all put
forever
Trump in
war? Has he initiated a
He's about
forever
to.
war? I'll tell you one thing he did, Tim.
Yeah.
Since he's been elected, the murder rate in the United States is down for more than 20%.
Is it worth it having a dictator? Have y'all still trust this guy? You lied, Jared. No, you guys, you lied, you guys, man.
I think
you can't trust this guy.
I think he stood for election and he won. I think he
They
laid
do
out
the cycle.
exactly. I think he laid out exactly what his plan was going to be and what he was going to do,
No,
and the
nobody-
American
no.
people agreed to it. Yeah, he's got
nobody
the
thinks-
biggest mandate in
fool
recent
people.
memory. The only person that got a better mandate was President Nixon, and they did everything but shoot him in the face to stop him. Thank you so much, Tim. Won't be a Sunday program for me this week. I got to travel. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and that the Orange Man doesn't disappoint you.
He's live. He's local. He's Kevin Cohen.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more. And then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?